Okay, there we are. Another lesson dedicated to this wonderful, extraordinary poet who is John Donne. Let us not forget that he himself gave a definition to this kind of a literary school that he promoted, created, which is metaphysical poetry. Why are these poets considered as metaphysical? Not for a philosophical reason. Literary metaphysical poetry has nothing to do with metaphysics, that is, that branch of philosophy which studies what goes beyond nature. In this case, metaphysical means never heard before, extraordinary, somehow blasphemous, exaggerated, as we saw in Butter My Heart. Why was that holy sonnet considered as metaphysical? Because it contains strange, extraordinary images of erotic physical love connected to God. And this is something that had never been heard before. It really sounds blasphemous to consider love as some kind of, as God, some kind of lover. It's blasphemous to ask God to divorce a man from evil, from Satan. So this is metaphysical. But John Donne, although was the dean of St. Paul's Cathedral, did not only write holy sonnets dealing with faith, dealing with man's relationship to God, to salvation and damnation, dealing with the freedom of the will versus the bondage of the will. And we have to remember that John Donne believed in the bondage of the will. Butter My Heart is a request made by man to God. And what is man asking? He is asking God to use violence to penetrate his heart. Because if it were for him, if it were for man, a man would never open up the door of his heart. A woman would not open up the door of her heart to God, because a human being's will is bound to Satan, to evil. Okay, as if we were all married, engaged to Satan. So the only way for us to be saved is to have faith, and to hope that God will somehow save us using violence. We may say against our will, because our will is not free to let ourselves be saved by God. But okay, John Donne did not only deal with this kind of poems, which he collected as holy sonnets. He also wrote another collection that is songs and sonnets. In this second collection, we do not only find sonnets, that is 14-line poems, but we also find songs. Songs are longer poems, normally made up of stanzas. For example, the most famous song written by John Donne is Go and Catch a Falling Star. Go and Catch a Falling Star is a song made up of 3 stanzas. The theme of this song is beauty and honesty. The poet John Donne wonders whether it is possible to meet a woman who is true and beautiful, faithful and beautiful, but he will not simply state this principle. He did not say, I do not think you will ever find a woman who is at the same time beautiful and honest. She does it in his way, that is, using metaphysical images. What kind of images? Let's analyze the first stanza. This first stanza is characterized by a lot of orders, requests. We really understand that it's about asking the reader, the listener, to do something, because we find a lot of verbs in the imperative form. Go and catch, get, tell, teach. These are all verbs in the imperative form. So the poet is asking us impossible things to be performed. It is impossible for everyone to catch a falling star. It is impossible for a woman to become pregnant, because get with child means become pregnant. A woman is pregnant when she is awaiting a baby, but she would be supposed to get pregnant drinking a potion made from a mandrake root. It was commonly believed that drinking this kind of potion made a woman pregnant, but we have no scientific proof for that, so it's impossible. Yet, John Donne is asking, in this case, a woman, a lady, to go and see if she can become pregnant drinking a mandrake root. Another impossible thing to perform is finding the place where the past is stored, as if all our past years went somewhere in some place in the universe and they were kept stored there. John Donne is asking us to go and find out where this past years, this past time is stored. Or other impossible things. How can I hear mermaids singing without going mad? She is referring to the myth of Ulysses. Ulysses knew that if a sailor should hear the mermaids sing, he would go mad and he will probably be drowned at sea. So it was dangerous. Well, John Donne is asking us to teach him to hear mermaids singing without going crazy, without going mad. Another thing, how can we live without ever feeling envy for someone or avoiding other people to feel envy towards us? It's almost impossible. Yet John Donne is asking us to teach him, so he supposes that we know how to do it, but we don't, how to live avoiding the stinging of envy. And final thing, is it possible to find out if there's some kind of wind which should help us behave honestly, as if we were ships in the ocean, which are led by a wind. She asks, can you please tell me what wind makes my mind an honest mind? What wind should I follow in order to be an honest, a decent man? Okay, first stanza, a lot of orders which are impossible to be performed. Well, it is some kind of preparation for what she's gonna tell us now in the second stanza. Well, the second stanza opens with a condition. She says, if thou means if you were born able to see, if you were born able to see strange sights, invisible things. So if you were born special, if you're not a common human being, if you're some kind of Superman, of Wonder Woman, if you are like that, if you are able to see what human beings cannot see, if you can see strange things, strange sights, if you can see invisible things, things that we cannot see, well, I'm gonna ask you something. I'm gonna ask you to write, that is to travel, go traveling around the world, go away from here, go and explore the rest of the planet, and take your time, take 10,000 days and nights. Well, 10,000 days and nights is approximately 30 years. So if you travel for 30 years around the world, and don't forget, and if you're a special woman, special man, if you're able to see strange sights and invisible things, so go and travel around the world until age, that is your old age, hairs on the snow white, that is after such a long journey, this 30-year journey, you will come back here and you will be old. Your hair will be white. You will be old after such a long journey. Well, when you return, when you come back here, you will tell me, this is Old English, thou wilt tell me is you will tell me all strange wonders that befell thee. It means you will tell me all those strange things that happened to you, the strange things you saw, the invisible things you saw while you were away, while you were traveling. You will somehow recall all this stuff. You will tell me everything. Well, I am sure, I swear. Now it is once again John Donne talking. She says, I swear, I can guarantee, I am 100% sure that nowhere lives a woman true and fair. So, even though you might have traveled for 30 years up and down the world, and you're a special man, a special woman, you're able to see things that common people cannot see. I am 100% sure, I swear, that you will never ever find a woman who is at the same time beautiful and true. True means faithful, honest. So beauty and honesty cannot coexist in the same woman. Please note that I'm not saying this. John Donne is saying this. I don't. Well, we may say, okay, that's it. The song is over. John Donne has said what he wants to say. It's not like that. She goes on and she uses some kind of a strategy that can be defined as reductio ad absurdum. She insists on, she pushes on this idea, and she says, even though you find one, so she says, if, but I'm not sure, I don't think so. If you ever find, if you ever meet one what? One beautiful and honest woman. If you find one, if you should find one, let me know. Please let me know. Because, well, such a woman would be some kind of angel, some kind of saint. So I would make myself a pilgrim. I would come and see her. I would come and meet her as if I were a pilgrim. So that's why John Donne says such a pilgrimage were sweet. It would be some kind of sweet pilgrimage, moving from here to the place where you found this honest and beautiful lady. So you might wonder, in these two lines of the third stanza, John Donne seems to start believing that some kind of honest and beautiful woman might exist on earth. No way, because he says yet, and we have learned that every time we find this word yet, it's some kind of volta, it's some kind of turning point, as if the poet starts contradicting what he has been saying till now, so far. And in fact, he says, do not what? Do not let me know. Do not refers to let me know. At first, he seems to believe that there exists a woman who is at the same time beautiful and fair, beautiful and honest. And in fact, he says, let me know. I would be glad to meet her. But, third line of the third stanza, he says, do not let me know. Do not tell me. Please do not tell me. Don't bother. Don't write any letter to me, because I would not go. I would not go. Why? Why? She says, I would not go even though we might meet at next door. This sounds weird. She says, even though you met this special woman, this kind of angel next door, so it would be very easy for me to come and meet her. I would not, because even though she were true when you met her, he said, suppose you're right, You have just met her and she has never been false. She has never betrayed her husband, her lover, her fiancé when you met her. Well, John Donne says, until you write your letter, because you're gonna take time, you need some time to write the letter to me. The letter needs some time for it to be delivered to me. I need to read it. I need to come and see the lady. Well, until you do all these things, she will be false to 2 or 3. She will be false to 2 or 3 before I come. It means as soon as I reach you and your wonderful lady, she will have betrayed you or her husband twice or 3 times. It means she will have proven herself wrong. She will have proven herself as a false woman. So it's gonna be useless to come and meet her, because it's gonna be once again a disappointing experience. A disappointing experience. So what is special about this song, about this poem written by John Donne? She is once again dealing with love, with faith, but in this case, the faith between 2 lovers, not between a man and a woman, between not between man and God. It is an earthly kind of love. I'm trying to show once again the structure of there we are, the structure of the song. So once again, 3 stanzas. Stanza 1, the poet asks the reader, the listener, to perform things that are impossible for any human being. Stanza 2, she says, even if there might exist some special human being, some special man, some special woman who is able to see strange things, invisible things, and even though she should go and travel for 30 years around the world, this person will never ever find a woman who is at the same time true and fair. Stanza 3, once again she opens up some kind of hope. She says at first, if you find one, let me know, but she is sure that even this lady, who at first seems to be true and fair, will be disappointing, because she will betray her man twice or 3 times. So the poet says, please do not bother, don't tell me that you met a special woman, because I know for sure that it's gonna be some kind of disappointment.